to the EPRN YouTube channel viewers. Good morning. As always, the presenter of today, Ajabu Cornet Kwajirayezu, and today's topic will be on youth engagement in entrepreneurship, policy, and decision making. And as you know, as I remind you every day, just don't forget to go and subscribe on our YouTube channel. You just click the like and also share as many with many people, and for them to access what you are accessing right now. So today we do have our special guest, someone with an expertise in this field of your young entrepreneurs in businesses. So let us welcome the guest of today. Would like to ask him to start by presenting himself and what is the expertise that he do have. So you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm John Bosco Cabano. I'm Managing Director of Youth Strategic Academy. And I have been in the youth sector as a youth advocate, youth engagement expert, decision making and entrepreneurship for some time. And I have participated both in the country and abroad to champion the cause of the young people in participation, entrepreneurship, and even advocating for or mobilizing young people to be part of being solutioneers for addressing challenges that are facing the nations and continent, and also being part of the bigger vision to help the countries and the continent of Africa achieve their targets. Thank you.
Let me start. Firstly, why do youth need to be engaged in entrepreneurship, policy making, and decision making? It has been a question that most of the youth have been asking themselves. Why do they need to be a part of policy and decision making?
Maybe let me first address youth engagement. Youth engagement is the participation or responsibility of the young people for social change, participating in decision making, policy, and entrepreneurship, and other areas of importance in the economy. Now, you ask the question, why are young people irrelevant, or why should they participate in decision making, entrepreneurship, and policy? Since immemorial, since a long time ago, we have had young people being part of the social change in their respective countries, globally, and even Africa in particular, since the colonial era. And their importance, they are young, they are the majority, they are energetic, and most of them, their parents have paid a big price of school fees for them to go to acquire modern education, to acquire skills, so that they are the future leaders. So they are relevant and important to participate, to engage in decision making, policy, and entrepreneurship, because as so goes by, it takes a community to grow a leader. The communities, their parents paid a big price of school fees to take them to education, to universities. So they have to read their respective countries in terms of, in many areas of concern, even the humble areas. Reading doesn't mean to be a minister or a head of state. Reading is anything that you are prospering in, you are earning an income in, you are excellent in. Now, young people in decision making, policy and entrepreneurship in this country, particularly in Rwanda, we have had a generation of young people that have been part of the transformation and reconstruction of Rwanda for the last 27 years. That generation is now approaching 50. Currently, the number, as statistics informs us, young people around 24 years old, they make up, they're above 60% in this country. So they are the bigger majority of the country. And should they lie silent, sleeping? So the future of this country, as we anticipate to achieve Vision 2030 and 2050, we shall be nowhere. So young people need to wake up from their comfort zone and they understand what does it take to engage in decision making. What does it take to engage in policy making? What does it take to engage in entrepreneurship? Yeah. Let me go to decision making. Decision making starts from where you are, being part of your community sort of programs. That's very important. Also, for young people to participate in decision making, one, there is a participation of the society, the government, and the civil society. For instance, if there are research going on in the country, young people need to be consulted on that research going on in the process, so that they participate and give their views. When young people give their views in the research going on, they are participating in the decision making. That's one process. Two, there are platforms put forward by the government. Let me say on the national community, like Youth Connect. Youth Connect is a platform for decision makers. It provides young people opportunity for decision making, for entrepreneurs, and even policy, because most of the ideas, recommendations that come from the Youth Connect are used for social change, to implement some of the government programs, and so does entrepreneurship. So now, when I'm still on the decision making goes with advocacy. Now, young people in the community, where they are, let me say students at the campus, they need to look around the challenges at the campus. Students in their body of association, they invite the headmaster or the principal, the rector, address challenges that face them. So they are participating in decision making. Students, young people at Mudugud level, they may gather themselves and form a group, and they explore the environment within the Mudugud, and write a letter to the mayor through the executive secretary of the sector, and make some copies highlighting GBV, gender-based violence in the community, highlighting hiking unemployment of young people, highlighting child abuse, highlighting some of the corrupt activities going on in the community, and even providing some of the projects they can do if they are supported to address challenges. The mayor will invite them, share with them, recommend sponsors to support that group of young people. So they are participating in decision making. They are participating in entrepreneurship. Briefly, in a nutshell, that's what I can say as we start.
Yes. By saying that they need to leave their comfort zone, if I got you well, you have been mentioning about leaving that Pandora box and there, but you also did mention something like humbleness. What were you meaning by that humbleness to the young entrepreneurs?
Thank you very much. Humbleness, it means a lot of things, but starting humble, if we may say, starting humble in terms of business, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Young people we have challenges of lack of collateral. They don't have collateral. They don't have somewhere to start. But they earn some meager money, some little money. So they need to start humble in terms of business. When you talk of young people, there are those who have went to school and those who are in the informal sector. And they are the majority as well. So, but also those with degrees, they need also to go down and start afresh. They can start with selling chapati. That's being humble in business and be strategic. They can start selling mandas. You know, how many people eat mandas in the community? So many. Selling bread. What does it take to know how to make bread? And I understand there are companies that help even acquire such skills, hands-on skills. Now, after exploring the environment, understanding the problems that I was in the environment, then you start humble, addressing problems of the people. Let me tell you, money comes from problems. When you address problems, you get money. When you leave problems unattended, you lose money. So, as we have problems in the community, you know, there are no boutique in the community. You need to ask, I have to put a small boutique in the community. There is no restaurant in the community. I have to put up a restaurant in the community. That's an attitude of an entrepreneur. He's a risk taker. He's a he provides solutions to problems. Yeah.
Yeah, regarding the youth engagement, entrepreneurship, and policy and decision making, I come with this question: is there maybe in the past or maybe the actual time where the youth did engage themselves in decision making, or is there any contribution which maybe happened in the past where the youth did participate in decision making or the policy making?
Yeah, thank you very much. Uh, in the past, I will particularly mention Rwanda. Oh, Rwanda, we have young people participating in the decision making, whether in Rwanda or in other countries. There have been platforms. We have UNICEF provides platforms for child parliament. That's something that have been going on in the past and still going on now. Now, this child parliament, young people are selected right from the grassroots, and they are trained from the sector level. They go throughout the district, and then they gather in the parliament, the House of Parliament of Rwanda. They participate, they read the house. The young person read the house, and then they participate in the whole process of the child parliament, where recommendations are adopted for the child committees in the country. Currently, we have child committees in every sector, where these children, who also are the future young people, participate in solving problems. They participate in budget through the help of CRADO and Minicofin and UNICEF and Save the Children, where they participate to participate in anticipating the budget of the country and even making sure that the budget sons of the young people. That's one. Two, young people participating in decision making in the past, yes, it has always been taking place, especially for, if you see the evolution of this country, from the war period and the genocide, young people raised up to fight evil. And most of them died through that process. I understand that even today, young people need to borrow a leaf from the past of the young girls that died because of the struggle of promoting the rights of young people and the general community of the people, so that they themselves can also participate to fight issues that hinder human progress. That's not taking place alone in Rwanda, but is also taking place in the rest of the world. So, but what I can conclude on, the evolution of this country in terms of participation is so much supported by the government and the civil society. So there's that positive attitude. But what the young people today need is to hold up that opportunity and understand the tools of participation. One, they need to how to write a small letter. They need to learn how to write a small article. Write an article and present that article to your MP representative. Use member parliament representative. This article should include the problem. How is it a problem? Where is it taking place? How is it affecting people? And what can be done with the recommendations to solve? Now, with that article with the recommendations, you present to the UCMP, you are changing. You are bringing social change to the community. You see? Yeah. And you are participating to attaining Agenda 2030. So, briefly, that's what I can say.
Yeah. So, you've been mentioning what the youth have been doing in the past in policy making and decision making. But here comes this question: is there the government encouragement via young entrepreneurs to be involved in this policy and decision making? I'm asking if there is any open platform which the government give maybe to the young entrepreneurs just to be involved in decision making and policy making.
Yeah, thank you very much. The government of Rwanda and the partners, they have provided platforms for the young people to participate in the decision-making policy and entrepreneurship. I will mention Youth Connect. Youth Connect, this is a platform that established by the Ministry of Youth of Rwanda, and now it even goes abroad Rwanda to other African countries, where every year thousands of young people are gathered and they are facilitated with business skills, trained, and they present their business plan presentations during the Youth Connect conference, where the winners are awarded some cash. That's one. Two, Youth Connect is the government uses Youth Connect as a tool to participate in Umushyikirano. So the Umushyikirano is a big forum for the government decision makers where they adopt big policy to promote, to move forward with the government agenda. And the young people are not left out. With the use of IT, young views of the young people are followed and respected, and their recommendations are heard and written down. But what I can say, young people need to know what to say when they are given opportunity. When you are in Youth Connect, the President of the Republic is listening to you, and the ministers and other policymakers and funders across the country. When you hold the microphone, what do you say? You need to know what to say. You need to know the issues around affecting young people with statistics. You need to know what to promote. Remember that you're holding the microphone, but also representing thousands of the young people that haven't got that opportunity to hold the microphone. So talk about child abortion. Talk about unemployment and how it is increasing. Talk about school fees and how it's becoming a problem. Talk about agriculture issues. Talk about issues that affect the economy so that young people can be facilitated and empowered and their finances refueled so that they can move forward. So young people need to understand what to say when they hold the microphone. Before I conclude, UNICEF also provides, is a big partner of the government, child parliament. This is very important. And young people need to know these four forums in their respective sectors. They are there, and they are very active. They are very much supported by organizations like CRADO, I know, Ministry of Finance, Save the Children, they support those child forums. So these are the processes that capacitate young people to engage in decision making, in advocacy, and to know all those issues around. There's also schools, they have debates. They have debates in schools, both secondary and university. These are also forums of debate that are so much key to promote and help empower young people to participate in decision making. Debate's a tool of participation. So, but when you debate, where do you give your recommendations? Give your recommendation to the mayor. It's very important. So, whenever you do something, don't leave it unaccomplished. To be accomplished, it has to reach the destination. Whom can we report to have change? It's very important. That's what I can say.
Yeah. So, do you see any form of challenge which maybe you'll be saying that do hinder the young entrepreneurs to participate in policy and decision making? Is there any, if is any of your knowledge?
Yes, a couple of them. I will start with the individual, the young people themselves. They don't know what to do, most of them. They don't know where to start. There's so much taken over by soccer, football, Arsenal, Real Madrid, and those big clubs of Europe. So much obsessed with football and forget the fundamental call from their governments, respective governments, of being active partners in the progress of their respective government. This government of Rwanda needs us, needs you, but you need to be a critical thinker. A critical thinker in sense, you need to think down, cross your room inside, get a pen and a paper, and ask yourself, what am I going to do? We have latent, we have ideas that are lie fallow. Why can't young people hold a pen and write a book and sell so that views are heard in the country? Okay, that's one. Two, we have issues of unemployment. Unemployment, there is no jobs. Jobs are very few. They are nowhere. That's why the majority of the young people are called upon by the government of Rwanda to be entrepreneurs. So the government participates to alleviate the stumbling blocks that hinder employment opportunities by even encouraging industry so that these companies provide jobs. Three, we have a challenge of lack of collateral. Few young people do not have collateral. But we so much have that at least BDF provides 25%, I think, hope this still so, to the young people, and 75% for women, I think. So young people need to grab those opportunities. So that's lack of collateral is always a big issue, but they should not just sleep. They need to wake up and start from zero and see how they can move forward. It is possible to move forward. It is possible, I believe. So long as you wake up very early in the morning, scratch your head, call someone, share something, and ask what to do. It's possible to participate in entrepreneurship. It's possible to participate in changing your community. Being a leader of your community doesn't need to be in the House of Parliament. You need to start from Dugudu, from your school campus, and be a changing agent. Another problem is lack of participation. There are very little or few, there are very few participatory avenues in our country. And sometimes local leaders, they undermine young people. Maybe they sometimes take them for granted in terms of mobilizing them as working as volunteers with nothing taking home. So I think that's a challenge, and I believe there is a need to advocate on that, to make sure that whatever young people are doing, they need to get something back as a payment. But also that culture of entrepreneurship is very important and very necessary, because it sharpens the mind of young people, and in the process, you acquire skills. Even me, I am a volunteer for some time. Volunteerism, you acquire skills, you acquire talent, you acquire experience. But it's good that through that process we get something back. Another problem is funding. There's no funding for most of projects for young people. Most of the cases, young people do not know even how to write a proposal. You see, a project proposal. And to communicate with a funder, you need to have a project proposal. Young people lack these skills. Lastly, but not the least, young people lack skills. Skills in many issues. There is a skills gap in what the young people have and what is required in the market. So that gap just hinders the progress of the young people in this country, and also hinders us as young people in this country to stand competitively in the region. To be competitive young people, if EPRN will succeed to championing the cause of young people in their participation, should not remain here in Rwanda. The young people of Rwanda need to be excellent across the borders in the region. We are in East Africa, we are in Commonwealth, we are in Francophone platform, we are in so many platforms as a country. So those are the avenues that young people need to showcase their talents and kick their best against the best. But how do you achieve that when you are sleepy? That's a challenge. I want to challenge young people to wake up, to be positive thinkers, to love their country, to stop being reactionaries, but proactive. Proactive means addressing challenges that are in place, not always pointing, the government doesn't do it, the government doesn't do it. No, you are the government. You are the arms and the legs of the government. You see? So you need to wake up from their comfort zones and rise up and shine and explore the opportunities in place.
We are about to end our good time, but I couldn't finish without asking you, what are your recommendations to the involvement of young entrepreneurs in economic growth of our country? What do you think? What is your recommendation for the involvement in our country's economic growth?
Thank you very much. I think I've already mentioned some of them. The economic growth of this country have been retarded by COVID-19, but see, it's at a stable level, doing well. For us to continue doing well, young people need to be part of it. So, one, they need to be risk takers. They need to start with any little money they have and pitch their business. That's one. Two, they need to seek funding from the very closest people they have. Family. They are the first. That's one. So, another thing, they need to acquire skills. Skills in writing project proposal, writing a business plan, writing a letter to the mayor. That's participation and being part of decision making. Writing a letter to the mayor. Most of the problem, they shouldn't be onlookers. They shouldn't be bystanders, that's the right word. bystanders, no. They need to be active citizens. Writing a letter to the mayor, let me say, EPRN chapter, they can change a lot in this country, in their respective where they are. Learning how to write a letter to the mayor, addressing issues in the community, and showcasing how they themselves have identified projects for them to implement. The mayor will invite them, chair with them, and even recommend funders. So skills is very important, skills in terms of advocacy. Also, I recommend to the government that the government need to make access to some of the policies they have. We have the national youth policy in place. Do the young people know that policy? So through EPRN, I recommend that this policy should be made access to young people, because they know, so that they know the big lines that need to be addressed in terms of policy. So when the policy is in place, it has to be promoted. So it has to be monitored and evaluated. And I think those are the areas where young people need to participate. I also recommend the civil society to engage young people in whatever they are doing, so that this country, the economy of this country keeps on growing. The big number of this country, who are the majority of the young people, need to be put at the forefront. Another recommendation are the funders. The funders, the global funders, people with money, they need to provide seed capital to the projects of the young people, including the government. Actually, this funding need even start from the district level. Seed capital is very important. The retro projects that the government, the young people have, they need some fresh air. Fresh air means seed capital, some retro money for them to start a business. Yeah, thank you.
EPRN YouTube channel viewers, I think this session has been more benefit to you, and you gain a lot. As our guest has been saying it, you just need to leave your Pandora box, your comfort zone, and just attack and humbling yourself. No matter what kind of business you'll be doing, at least do something. For those who are acquiring knowledge, EPRN is a good platform where you can get those skills by which the presenter has been mentioning, whatever is a business plan or project proposal writing. So you are welcome to be members of EPRN. And before I end this session, I would like to recommend you to please, we beg, subscribe to our YouTube channel and just click on liking our videos. But also there is a red bell there where you can click and you'll be getting the notification of our new uploaded videos. So let's meet the next time. Bye bye.